Given that 3 years ago, Councilmember, now Supervisor McCowan, made sure that if the majority up here didn't want your appointment, and thought they were going to be a detriment to society and to the commission, we could stop it.
Mm-hmm. So he
I'm
vote.
against that process, but let's try a motion in a second.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to nominate Linda Helland to the Planning Commission.
Second.
Further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Councilmember Landis.
Aye.
Thomas.
Aye.
Roden.
Yes.
Mayor Baldwin.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe.
She'd like to
thing
come up
for
and
us.
say something.
Would you have any interest in responding to your appointment? In less than 3 minutes.
Much less. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm deeply honored to be nominated by Councilmember Landis, who I respect and admire very much. And I'm excited to work with a dedicated and knowledgeable staff more closely. And I'm very much looking forward to learning from and working with more experienced Planning Commission members and the City Council. And finally, I'm excited and ready to get to work to promote the social, physical, and economic health of the city of Ukiah.
Thank you. New business, item 11B, discussion on possible participation in a call for an all-cities meeting in Mendocino County and appointment of city council representatives. Councilmember Roden, would you like to introduce this topic?
I don't know any more about it than anyone else.
The key is the date, I think. Anywhere in this document does it mention the date?
February 13th, Friday the 13th.
And so the question is, do two council members, can we agree upon two council members who are interested in attending this meeting and conceivably a member of city staff? Further discussion?
The letter does not refer to staff, I think.
They're not frozen out. I believe
Okay.
a number of city managers have been invited or plan to attend. On the other hand, since we have so many pressing issues and the budget issues, maybe our staff
It's interesting.
simply can't afford to take that time. But hopefully, it sounds like, what were the key topics that they were going to?
It's in the letter.
There's 4 topics there.
The blueprint planning project. Hopefully our newest planning commissioner will be able to go to that. There's a meeting in Sacramento next week. Strengthen city's voice in the selection of water quality grant projects. Mendocino County, the Mendocino Crossings project, that's the DDR project, and then city representation on the Mendocino County Air Quality Management District.
Further discussion? Interested people volunteering to attend?
I'm interested.
Council members Landis and Thomas are both interested for Friday the 13th?
It happens to be the only free day in my calendar. I think I have to fill it up.
If there's no objection, then by consensus, we would ask council members Landis and Thomas to represent Ukiah at this meeting on February 13th in Fort Bragg. Any further discussion?
Does it say what time it begins? I don't see that.
We don't know.
Okay.
Maybe one of you should try to find out exactly when and where it will take place, and maybe find out if one representative from staff is interested in attending with you, because I know the city manager is unable to attend.
Perhaps we could allow the city manager to determine whether or not the city staff should send.
That's absolutely fine, yeah. Moving on to item 11C, agenda update regarding Judicial Council of California Administrative Office of Courts, status of court facilities planning for Mendocino County Courthouse. City Manager Chambers.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. This item, we wanted to report to you that apparently there is this new urgency in this discussion that has been around for some time, because the city's name is, or the Mendocino, the Superior Court, the county court, is on a list now that is going to be considered. Projects within that list are going to be considered and could possibly be placed on a 62-month fast-track process. That fast-track process begins in November of '09. So there's no guarantee that we're to be selected, but we've been informed that there is this possibility. And what we need to do as a city is bring forth our site, or site's ideas, to the AOC, which is the administrator of the courts. This is definitely a state project. This is not a city-driven project. What we will be able to do is give input about sites. And I think we're all aware that the county has some interest in a site that would be removed from downtown. So we need to work with our county and talk about the most feasible sites. And in discussing this, the community development director and I recognize that I think the council will probably want a community component in this discussion as well, before we would just arbitrarily decide on the best places. So we wanted to build in some time for that, and we think the best way to do it is for the council to appoint an ad hoc that will work with us as staff, and then we'll bring forward a process for consideration by the council, or how we go about doing this.
Council ad
And
hoc
time is of
committee?
the essence. Right. A council ad, we previously had one that I believe was Councilmember Roden and Councilmember McGowan.
Well, I know that Mari has, this has been one of the issues she's been most concerned about, so I would hope that she would continue in that fashion. Is there, I have something to say about the number of ad hoc council committees, so we have it later. But is there another council member who would like to serve with her?
Volunteer?
Well, you're going to present an alternative site, I hope.
Well, I'm interested because of the intersection with form-based zoning and, you know,
Okay.
and the whole planning component.
Okay.
It's very interesting to me.
Councilmember Thomas?
But I think we've
Do you
got-
have a comment on this possible ad hoc committee?
What, I'm going to say no?
Do we normally formally vote on when we do one of these ad hocs, or I cannot ever remember?
You can and you have, yes.
And that's valuable, you think?
Well, the Brown Act talks about subcommittees that have been formally approved by the city council. If you don't take an action, then you haven't created the subcommittee.
Okay.
Well, it's an ad hoc committee, which it's an ad hoc committee of the city council consisting of exclusively of two council members for a limited specific purpose.
Well, we decided just a minute ago that Ms. Landis and I should go to Fort Bragg without a motion or a vote.
Well, but you weren't, were you going as a committee or just as two representatives from the city council?
Okay.
So this is a little bit different. Shall we just put this in the record as a motion?
Yes, I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
And for the record, we are taking a vote on whether or not council members Landis and Roden will be a subcommittee working on the siting of a courthouse in relation to state demands and budgets and requirements. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Landis.
Yes.
Thomas.
Aye.
Roden.
Yes.